Welcome to the new Dodge Intermission Report. Time to get you up to date. Let's join the ESPN News Network. From the worldwide leader in sports, this is the ESPN News Network.
And hello, everyone. We'd like to welcome all of you watching the ESPN Deuce, the hockey game, alongside John Buttigross. So happy to be with him. I'm Dave Feldman. Back to Buffalo in a moment, but first, some swapping.
That's right, Dave. Today was the last day NHL teams could make trades until after the Olympics. And the Canucks, worst in the West and the second worst in the league, made one with the Islanders, tied for 10th in the East, but just 5 points out of the 8th playoff spot. Here's the deal. Trevor Linden, 10-year vet, on his way to Long Island, the second leading scorer in Canuck history, traded. He is coming off a sprained knee. He's going to Nagano for the Canadian Olympic team. In exchange, the Nucks get 2 youngsters, including Brian McCabe, the defenseman, who has 3 goals, 145 penalty minutes. This is Vancouver's 4th trade in 5 days. The Nucks trying to get younger.
I'd seen him play in the playoffs in '94, and I wasn't seeing the same player. So I knew it, and I'm sure he has it in his own repertoire to play to that level again, and that should be his own expectation.
You know, it's when things change in your organization, you know, this is what can happen, and you know, I understand that, and that's what you deal with as a professional athlete.
The Canucks trying to get younger and, most importantly, better defensively. They have allowed 196 goals, the most in the NHL. You see they also get Todd Bertuzzi, the right winger Bertuzzi, and a 3rd-round draft choice as well. Paul Kariya is still feeling the effects of the wicked cross-check he received from Chicago's Gary Suter. The cross-check happened last Sunday. Kariya said he gets a headache just when his car hits a bump. He'll likely not play in tomorrow's Duck game against the Kings, and his concussion may keep him out of his first Olympic game with Canada next Friday night.
Let the dismantling continue. Today, the World Series champion Florida Marlins traded pitcher Al Leiter to the New York Mets. In a purging of epic proportions, the Marlins have now gotten rid of 12 players from their 25-man championship roster. They acquired 3 minor league prospects and a minor leaguer for Leiter. The 32-year-old Leiter was 11-9 with a 4.34 ERA and 27 starts last year. The lefty pitched the Marlins' first ever no-no in '96. He was 0-1 with no saves in the postseason. Well, it is official. Chuck Knoblauch is a member of the New York Yankees. The Yanks and the Twins worked out the deal earlier in the week, but needed final approval from acting commissioner Bud Selig. They got it. The Yanks send the minor league lefty Eric Milton and 3 other prospects, plus $3 million to the financially hurting Twins. Knoblauch is a 4-time All-Star. He won his first Gold Glove last year. In Knoblauch's 7 seasons in the league, his numbers have dwarfed those of the 14 second baseman New York has tried. On a per basis, he bats 30 points higher, and he also scores 30 more runs, and he reaches base 50 more times, and he commits, by the way, half as many errors as Yankees' second baseman.
He has now safely and securely established himself as Denver's 20th century sports hero. The immensely talented, gracious loser finally ended a football season with a win, but he will not end his career with a win. According to John Elway's agent, the 38-year-old, to be in June, quarterback will return next year. Elway threw a career-high 27 touchdown passes in '97, and he had his first burden-free year as quarterback with the rise of Terrell Davis. His team is good. His kids are old enough to appreciate his impact. His owner wants a new stadium. His skills have barely diminished. Donald Audette, the only goal in this game, his 14th, as Buffalo tries to hold on to that 8th playoff spot. Pens and Sabres. More ESPN News, however, after this.
Even though Dodge Ram is the bright red gold standard of pickup trucks, we're always improving things. We've made our available Magnum V8s even more powerful. We've improved the already world-class interior. In all, we've made 130 improvements to the Ram lineup since introduction, including this one, our new flow-through ventilation system. New Ram Quad Cab. The rules have changed.
Michael Johnson's got foot action. Michael Johnson's got the world record in the 200 meters. Michael Johnson trains in the Nike Air Max Triax. You've got foot action. You can't have the world record in the 200 meters. Why?
Because I won't let you have it.
For every action, there's foot action.
Tomorrow, two of the country's top players take the court as Old Dominion's crafty floor leader, Tisha Penicheiro, matches moves with Tennessee's sensational scorer, Shamikwa Holtzclaw. Old Dominion, Tennessee, tomorrow at 6, only on ESPN2.
Bill Carmody has never lost an Ivy League basketball game. He's now 23-0. The Tigers have won 10 straight games. They held Dartmouth to 19 first-half points. You see 20 second-half points as they move to 17-1, 5-0 in the league.
A 31-year-old 5'1" woman. Not exactly the prototype Olympic hockey player. Or is it? Lisa Brown-Miller is going to Nagano to bring back gold. A gold that was not without sacrifice. Steve Cyphers chronicles the quest.
And now the starting lineup for Team USA.
When John Galsworthy wrote those words early this century, he had no idea how apt it would be today for the U.S. women's hockey team playing for the first time ever in the Olympics.
They've had all sorts of barriers and roadblocks and the stereotypes, things, people ridiculing them maybe as little girls or teasing them or actually just chasing people, you know, having like, hey, get out of here, kid, the boys coming out here now. These athletes have kept playing, and for one reason, they love the game.
And perhaps no one loves it more than the oldest and smallest member of the team, 31-year-old, 5'1" Lisa Brown-Miller, one of 3 players on the squad who have been a part of the national team since its inception in 1990.
This is an important moment for me. I've seen women's hockey come from, you know, the very infant levels up to where it is right now. Even with this national team in 1990, we didn't even have sweats. We're here now, our major sponsors are like Nike and Colombo and Visa. So it's exciting, and I wouldn't turn around and trade it. I'd keep it. I'd do it all over again.
To make this team, she quit her job of 5 years as the women's coach at Princeton. And in August of 1995, when the tryout camp for the team was about to start, she decided to postpone her honeymoon to Alaska.
I had written a letter to Coach Smith saying, I'm getting married on the 19th. Do you think it would be okay if I showed up one day later? Could I come on the 21st? And he said, yeah, I think he thought I was a little crazy for even coming at all.
But to Brown-Miller, it is not crazy. It is only sacrifice, the amount necessary due to the value she puts on her sentiment, the Olympics.
Giving up my job at Princeton and getting married and leaving the day after and skipping out on a honeymoon. And I mean, this is what amateur athletics is all about, just playing the sport for the pure love of it.
With the U.S. women's hockey team, Steve Cyphers, ESPN.
The U.S. women's hockey team opens Sunday versus China. They're expected to meet Canada for the gold medal. Also, the NHL has suspended Bryant Marchment for a knee against Carolina. Enjoy the rest of the game.
He's not the smartest of criminals. I'll give him one thing, he had a nice mask.
I have a goalie stick and a sharp skate.
Sir, this is a bank. The hockey rink is down on your right.
What seems to be the problem? Give me some money. Is this a robbery?
I couldn't stop him! Unable to stop Rod Brindamore, goaltender Lee Worley turns to a life of crime.
Who robs a bank with a skate?
We caught him with some hard-nosed police work.
Well, that, and his name was on the back of his jersey.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm going to beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
Has anyone seen my stress management presentation?
Where's my Hamlet essay, I pray?
I doth trashed it.
If you have an iOmega zip drive, your family can keep track of everything.
I downloaded some military school information. You seen it?
What?
So make copies of all your stuff on 100 megabyte zip disks, so nothing gets lost. Almost.
Hello? Anyone see my retainer?
Get an iOmega zip drive today, because it's your stuff.
If it were a guy's world, this would be your 9 to 5. Having kids wouldn't slow you down a bit. And you'd be so cool, you'd never sweat. But in the real world, guys sweat. 40% more than women. Guys need the protection of Speed Stick Gel. No other gel keeps you drier, cooler, or more protected in this world or the world where every day is Saturday. Speed Stick Gel. Protection just for the guys.
Daytona. Each year, NASCAR's best race for the pole. Labonte, Gordon, Jarrett, Earnhardt. The 1998 season starts here. Daytona 500 qualifying tomorrow at 2 on ESPN2.
From the worldwide leader in sports, this is the ESPN News Network.
And hello, everybody. We'd like to welcome all of you watching the Penguins and the Sabres on the Deuce. Alongside John Butchigoss, I'm Dave Feldman. You're watching the ESPN News Network. Back to Buffalo in a moment, but first some more ice and some more swapping.
That's right, Dave. Today was the last day NHL teams could make trades until the season resumes after the Olympics. And the Canucks, worst in the West, and the second worst in the league, made one with the Islanders, tied for 10th in the East, but just 5 points out of the final 8th playoff spot. Longtime captain Trevor Linden is off to Long Island. A 10-year Vancouver vet, second all-time leading scorer behind Stan Schmiel, just recovered from a sprained knee. He's on his way to the Olympics for Canada. In exchange, the Canucks get Brian McCabe, a young defenseman who has 3 goals, 9 assists, and 145 penalty minutes. Trevor Linden gone.
I'd seen him play in the playoffs in '94, and I wasn't seeing the same player. So I knew it, and I'm sure he has it in his own repertoire to play to that level again, and that should be his own expectation.
You know, it's when things change in your organization, you know, this is what can happen, and you know, I understand that, and that's what you deal with as a professional athlete.
Here's the complete deal. McCabe, Bertuzzi, and a third-round pick go to Vancouver in exchange for Trevor Linden. The Canucks trying to get younger, but most importantly, better defensively. They have allowed the most goals in the league. They are 12 points out of the final playoff spot. Paul Kariya is still feeling the effects of the wicked cross-check he received from Chicago's Gary Suter last Sunday. Kariya said he gets a headache just when his car hits a bump. He'll likely not play in tomorrow's Duck game against the Kings, and his concussion may keep him out of Canada's first Olympic game next Friday night.
Let the dismantling continue. Today, the World Series champion Florida Marlins traded pitcher Al Leiter to the New York Mets. In a purging of epic proportions, the Marlins have now gotten rid of 12 players from the 25-man championship roster. They acquired 3 minor league prospects and a minor leaguer for Mr. Leiter. The 32-year-old was 11-9 with a 4.34 ERA last year. 27 starts. He pitched the Marlins' first ever no-no in '96. He was 0-1 with no saves in the postseason. It is official. Chuck Knoblauch is a member of the New York Yankees. The Yanks and the Twins worked out the deal earlier in the week, but they needed final approval from the commissioner, Bud Selig, and today they got it. The Yanks send the minor league lefty Eric Milton and 3 other prospects, plus $3 million to the financially hurting Twins. Knoblauch's a 4-time All-Star. He won his first Gold Glove last year.
It was something that I wanted to have happen. I think any professional athlete or anybody that plays any type of sports or anything in life, really, you want to win or you want to come out on top. And there's been a lot of tough years in Minnesota the last 5 years, and you know, I want to win just as bad as anybody else. And you know, I think I've been put in a great opportunity to win and to win big in New York.
In Knoblauch's 7 seasons in the league, his numbers have dwarfed those of the 14 second basemen New York has tried. On a per-season basis, he bats 30 points higher, scores 30 more runs, reaches base 50 more times, and commits half as many errors as Yankees second baseman.
He has now safely and securely established himself as Denver's 20th century sports hero. The immensely talented, gracious loser finally ended a football season with a win. But he will not end his career with a win. According to John Elway's agent, the 38-year-old in June quarterback will return next year. He threw a career-high 27 TD passes in '97 and his first burden-free year as quarterback with the rise of Terrell Davis. His team is good. His kids are old enough to appreciate his impact. His owner needs a new stadium, and he could certainly make it back to the Super Bowl next year. We're at intermission, 2-2. The Penguins had 19 shots on goal to the Sabres' 9 in the second period. More from there, but first, more ESPN News.
New file, begin dictation.
Who are you talking to?
My computer.
I do that too sometimes.
No, you don't understand. I got this new software. I talk, it types.
You talk, it types?
I talk, it types.
It's typing.
Because I'm talking.
What does it type?
Whatever I say.
So let me try.
No.
Why?
Because it's mine. Get your own.
Now when I talk, it types.
This year, thousands of people will visit places like Florida, Mexico, San Francisco, and the Bahamas. And who will take them there? Sea-Doo, the best-selling boat in the world. Right now, with the purchase of a new Sea-Doo watercraft or jet boat, you'll get free travel on Delta Airlines or make no payments on your new Sea-Doo till September 98. It's ride-free, fly-free for a limited time at your participating Sea-Doo dealer.
Welcome to Mr. P's Etiquette Club. Today's tips.
Cellular phone calls are unacceptable during a game. And don't gloat if you win ESPN Senior PGA Tour Sweepstakes, presented by Royal Caribbean and Pearl Vision.
Tune in for more details.
They do it again. They're 17-1, Princeton is. Check this out. Coach Bill Carmody now 23-0 in Ivy League games in his 2 years as head coach. The Tigers have won 10 straight contests. Let's play golf. Of course, this is what Torrey Pines usually looks like, but bringing out Nino, and we have rain issues, and Fuzzy Zeller felt the force. Ow, stupid Fuzzy.
For Fuzzy? As long as his first.
Ow, for bogey. He doubles it. He was 168th in putting last year. Brent Geiberger went to Pepperdine, lives in Santa Barbara, open wide and say, goes to 8 under with the long birdie. Tom Kite. You're really clubbing it. Check out the spinach. His last win was the 93 LA Open. He's 9 under when play was suspended. Then the rains really came. I'd keep playing. See, anytime the squeegee's out, that's a bad sign. Michael Bradley on 15. His eagle has landed. A bit shocked it went in on the second bounce. He goes to 4 under. Fine good game. The rain bothering Davis Love. You see the ball exploding in a little bit of a puddle. Largely affects your distance. A bit short. He bogeys the hole to go to 9 under. There's Fuzzy enjoying it. The second round now will resume Saturday morning. You see these golfers did not finish. And then the cut will be made when the players finish play tomorrow morning. Tom Kite recently had laser surgery on his eyes and now no longer needs glasses or contacts, which in rain and wind is a huge factor. Kite said, quote, I had the operation 2 weeks ago, and when I woke up, I had better than 20/20 eyesight. South African Open, David Frost, 2-shot lead over Ernie Elsepter is 66. Frost used his 6 under 66 to jump from 7th to the lead. And your senior PGA Tour, Jim Albus with a 67. Your 1-shot leader right now over David Lundstrom. 57-year-old Jim Albus, winless since 1995. This senior PGA Tour event going on in Naples.
The Penguins and the Sabres are playing to a 2-2 tie at the second intermission. Jaromir Jagr has his 25th goal, career point number 700 for Buffalo. Donald Audette has 2 goals, both on the power play, his 14th and 15th. Buffalo on a 7-game unbeaten streak. For those of you on the Deuce, enjoy the third period. For those of you on the ESPN News Network, John and I back in a moment.